Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros el día de hoy en nuestro evento de Canada Education, Colleges y Universidades. Al nombre de Class Education les quiero desear la más cordial bienvenida, que es nuestra sexta edición. Tenemos 30 universidades y colleges canadienses que nos acompañan y por supuesto al gran equipo de Class Education que están aquí para apoyarles, aconsejarlos y seguirlos en este proceso de ir a estudiar en Canadá con nosotros. ¿Listos? ¡Bravo! Muy bien, bienvenidos.
Quiero ir a estudiar un posgrado a Canadá el año que viene, entonces vengo a ver la oferta de las universidades, ver pues qué posgrado es el que tomaría y pues la inversión que tengo que hacer.
Venimos a este congreso para ver los diferentes colleges o las oportunidades para estudiar y trabajar en Canadá, ya que es un objetivo que tenemos de vida y venimos a ver las oportunidades.
Yo estoy aquí porque sí me interesaría ir a estudiar a Canadá.
Canadá es un lugar hermoso donde la gente es súper amigable.
Su nivel de vida es de los más altos en el mundo.
Y que pues ofrece muchas oportunidades con una calidad educativa excelente.
Además de que es una experiencia internacional, estás viviendo con personas de todos lados del mundo.
Conocer distintas culturas, distintas formas de pensar.
Siempre tener un poco más te va a ser diferente. Me llamó la atención de aquí del Congreso el hecho de que da muchas oportunidades.
Muy padre la asesoría también legal para pues, la parte de inmigración, ¿no? De Canadá está muy bien y pues muchas conferencias te ayudan bastante.
Entre tantas escuelas hay mucha información, hay de dónde decidirse qué estudiar. Mi diploma lo obtuve porque me inscribí a Humber para aplicar.
De hecho, actualmente estoy estudiando medicina y me gustaría hacer algún posgrado.
Ahí en Canadá estoy pensando estudiar ingeniería mecánica. Me pienso quedar al menos 2 años para ampliar mis conocimientos, mis habilidades.
Soy licenciada en Comercio Internacional y pues me gustaría hacer algún tipo de posgrado o alguna certificación en Canadá.
Class Education es una excelente empresa que realmente cumplen lo que te están vendiendo. Yo sí lo recomendaría definitivamente.
Es una empresa con mucha experiencia.
Tienen mucho interés por pues, abrir las puertas, ¿no? a la gente de afuera de Canadá para entrar a Canadá.
Pues que aprovechen las oportunidades que este tipo de ferias ofrecen.
Que se avienten a conocerte este tipo de exposiciones que hay para enriquecerte como persona, como estudiante y pues lo recomiendo muchísimo.
mundo, bienvenido a nuestro webinario número 34, si no me equivoco. Soy Bruno Perón, director y fundador de Class Education, una empresa canadiense establecido en México desde ya más de 26 años, que ofrece servicios a la gente que desea estudiar en Canadá. A nombre de toda la empresa de Class, les doy la más cordial bienvenida a nuestro webinario el día de hoy. Y les recuerdo, como hago en cada webinario, que este evento está siendo grabado y todos que se registraron en Zoom recibirán una copia de esta grabación el día de mañana. Al mismo tiempo estamos en Facebook Live y tenemos equipo de Class en cada plataforma contestando sus preguntas en tiempo real. Y las preguntas más importantes o más relevantes o más frecuentes las vamos a contestar en vivo también un poquito más tarde durante este evento. Entonces estamos grabando las preguntas en la sección de preguntas y respuestas. Les pedimos que hagan sus preguntas ahí y les vamos a ir tomando un poco más adelante. Por la gente que no nos conoce, Class Education es una empresa canadiense que se ubica en México y en Canadá. Tenemos ya más de 26 años dedicándonos a este tipo de servicios, es decir, a orientar, acompañar a la gente que desea estudiar en Canadá. Más de 26 años, como decía, y más de 10,000 alumnos mexicanos hemos enviado a estudiar a Canadá. Así que tenemos una amplia experiencia en el ramo y ofrecemos muchos tipos de servicios. A continuación, esos servicios son orientación educativa, es decir, encontrar el mejor programa y la mejor institución para sus necesidades, la necesidad de cada alumno, que puede ser diferente de un alumno al otro. La parte del hospedaje, la parte de los visados, los famosos visados para estudiar y también para trabajar, tanto para individuos, parejas y o familias, según sea el caso. También servicios de seguro médico, recepción en el aeropuerto, al fin, todo lo que uno necesita para armar su viaje para estudiar en Canadá, lo pueden ver con nosotros. Es un servicio all inclusive, todo llave en mano que ofrecemos y también a la medida, según cada cliente, si necesitan o no necesitan de ciertos servicios, los podemos quitar también para solamente ofrecer los servicios que se le ocupa a nuestros clientes. Eso es quien es Class Education. Varios de ustedes que están en la llamada el día de hoy, me imagino que ya nos conocen, y si no, pues les invito a conocernos. Esos webinarios los hemos empezado a hacer cuando empezó la crisis del COVID, y a la fecha, pues es el número 34, perdón, y siempre procuramos traerles información de mucho valor, información que les ayude a tomar decisiones, buenas decisiones en base a buena información verídica, con el apoyo tanto de Class, de todo el equipo de Class Education y también de nuestras escuelas socios en Canadá. El día de hoy no es excepción, tenemos una escuela muy, muy querida por parte de Class Education, una escuela única que se encuentra en el maravilloso pueblo de Whistler, en British Columbia, y con nosotros tenemos a la señorita Shelly Quinn, que Shelly es la representante oficial de la escuela Whistler Adventure School. Shelly, are you there? Can you put on your camera and your microphone, please? There you go.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very well. I'm going to do my presentation in English, so my apologies if, but my Spanish you won't want to listen to for 25 minutes. So I will speak slowly and clearly. And if there's something that you don't understand, please let us know, and Bruno can do the translating for us.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is start to share my screen.
La presentación entonces por parte de Shelly va a ser en inglés. Cualquier pregunta, dudas, lo pueden ver conmigo o en las preguntas. Vamos a tomar sus preguntas, las pueden hacer en inglés o en español, como gustan. Y si algo se atora, pues yo estoy aquí para traducir. Okay, Shelly, all yours. Tell us about the school. Tell us about the wonderful, you know, I'm sure a lot of people on the call already know Whistler, but tell us about the school. Tell us about, you know, the working program.
Absolutely.
How that all fits in. And looking forward to it. I'll be here standing by, okay?
Okay. So what I'm just going to be playing some pictures in the background at first while I tell you a little bit about about Whistler and the school. So what you're going to be seeing is just all photos. Some were taken by our students, by our faculty, and they're all just pictures to give you an idea of what we do here at the Whistler Adventure School. So in case...
Are you in presentation mode, or I don't think you're in presentation mode right now? Are you?
It says I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen, but I'm wondering if your screen is on presentation mode.
Oh, I don't know. It just says new share.
Okay.
And
that will be on your computer.
Yeah, I don't see any other thing I can do for presentation mode. So okay. Are you able to see my screen and the photos?
We see the photos, but we see the framework of your computer, but that's fine.
Oh, I see. Okay. My apologies. I'm not sure how to change that, but
never mind.
There we go. That better?
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Okay. So to start with telling you a little bit about Whistler, basically we are, as Bruno said, a beautiful, we call it like a Pueblo Mágico. You have many of those in Mexico. Well, Whistler is a perfect example of kind of the Pueblo Mágico in Canada. We're just 1.5 hours from Vancouver, so we're very close to a large metropolitan city, but we're far enough out that you're really getting a different experience. We're surrounded by mountains, by lakes, by rivers, but we also have a very vibrant international community here. So when you see these photos, I don't want you to think, oh, I'm going to be stuck up in the mountains. These are some of our more adventure photos, but the Whistler Village has so many things to do. People from all over the world here visiting. Here we go. Visiting us and living here. The Whistler Adventure School is a small school, so we are an accredited post-secondary institution in Canada. So all of our 1-year and 6-month programs are going to come, you're going to come on a study permit with work allowance, which is very important for most people. They want to know that they're going to be able to work when they're here in Whistler. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about the kinds of jobs, but we do have a lot of jobs. Something else that I think is very important, it's always been important for us, but even more so now with this kind of new reality that we're living, is that our courses are in person and we have small classes. So you're going to be in classes of between 6 to maximum 15 people. And we are doing these classes in person. So when you come to the Whistler Adventure School, you are not studying online, you're studying in person. So you're living in Whistler, you're getting to live the life in Canada and be immersed. And all of our instructors are professionals in whatever they're teaching. So we don't have one teacher teaching 8 different subjects like you might find in some classes. So here at the Whistler Adventure School, you're learning from professionals in all of the different areas. So some of the benefits, or how I say that we are completely different from any other post-secondary school really in Canada, is that we focus on getting our students outside in learning hands-on skills and really absorbing this amazing life in what I think is one of the most fantastic places to live in the world. And I can say I've traveled very extensively. I've lived in a lot of different countries. Whistler has the perfect combination of nature and things to do both outside and in the evenings. We have some of the top hotels and restaurants in Canada here. So you're going to have all of these amazing experiences that you can share when you're here. So you're going to be meeting amazing people from all over the world. You're going to be learning from professionals who really are enthusiastic about what they're teaching, and you're learning in small groups. So these are all things that I feel make us very different and really appeal to students who maybe are a little bit more mature. A lot of our students have already completed some sort of post-secondary education, or maybe they've already been working for a few years and they're just ready for a change. They want to do something different. They want to expand their horizons, come to Canada. This is a fantastic opportunity to do that. And I'm just going to go to another screen for a moment so that I can show you, except this keeps popping up here. Hold on.
Those are stunning pictures, eh? Beautiful pictures.
Yeah, I know. We have some really great pictures. So what I wanted to show you was now a little bit about our student body, because I think this is really important for everyone who is listening to understand. So here shows our age diversity. So to be a student at WAS, which is the short form for Whistler Adventure School, you have to be a minimum of 18 years old. But as you can see from this picture, the majority of our students are between 20 and 35 years old.
We can no longer see your picture, your screen, by the way.
Oh, you can't see my screen?
No, no.
Sorry, I don't know why, but let me go back to presenting again.
When you switch screen, we stop seeing your...
Okay, so there we go.
Now we
so
can.
Now you can see the screen again. Sorry about that. So the majority of our students are between 20 and 35. We have a few that are just 18 or 19, and we have a few that are over 40. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh, I've already studied and I don't want to go back to traditional school, we could be the perfect school for you, because we're not a traditional school where suddenly you're going to be surrounded by all people younger. Really, I would say if you are only 18 or 19, you know, we would be looking for students that have a certain maturity, that you're ready for something with more independence than perhaps you are used to. The other thing that is really unique about Whistler Adventure School is our nationality mix. So at the Adventure School, we have domestic students as well as international students. And this is something that is really beneficial for your experience, because you're going to be in classes with Canadians, with Australians, people from New Zealand, the United Kingdom, Europe. So there is a really wide mix of nationalities. And when we talk about our ideal student, we're looking for someone who is looking for an active lifestyle. So this doesn't mean that you have to practice all of the sports that you saw in the pictures that I was showing earlier. What it means is that you're going to enjoy nature, that you're going to be open to living in an environment that might be different from, you know, if you're coming from Mexico City, for example. You know, it's going to be outdoors, you're going to be meeting people and probably going for hikes or going to the lake. The other thing that I want you to understand from the photos, we have 4 distinct seasons here in Canada, in Whistler. So we have our summer season, which goes from June until September, and the average temperature is between 21 and 30 degrees. So today, for example, it's about 26 degrees. So nice warm temperatures, people go to the lakes, they go swimming, they go hiking. In the winter, it does get cooler. You need to be ready for snow. So what's different from Vancouver is, as Bruno can attest, Vancouver is a little bit kind of cooler in the winter, but they don't have snow. They are known for getting a little bit more rain in the winter. Whistler, we don't get rain in the winter, we get snow, which if you enjoy doing outdoor sports is a great opportunity to get out and enjoy some amazing snow and mountains. So I'm going to start to talk a little bit about our programs. So what I want to reiterate is all of our programs, 1 year and 6 months, come with a study permit with work allowance. So this means that you can work to support yourself while you're in Canada. And I'm going to talk a little bit first about our marketing and media manager program. Some of the positive things about this program is you can start almost any month. So right now, when we know that the processes are a little bit slower, we're not sure when the travel is going to start and everything, we can get, you can work with Classic Education to get your study permit going, to get the process going, and then you can enroll as soon as you're able to travel. We can get you started in the program. In this one-year program, here you can see the courses that you're going to study. So what I like about this marketing and media program is that you're studying courses that you can use in almost any profession. You know, with digital media and social marketing and everything becoming so much more important these days, learning how to take a great photo, how to edit your photos and videos, how to post things on social media, and learn about strategic marketing philosophies are all important things that you can take on to any kind of job that you do. So I feel that this program is a fantastic program to be able to really get a handle on all of these different aspects. We have students in our marketing and media program who have already finished university degrees, and they come and they tell us, oh my God, I can't believe how much I learned, because we're teaching hands-on. In our photography class, you're not sitting at a desk reading a textbook and learning about photography. You're actually going out with the instructor and your small group, and you're learning how to take photos. So when we're looking at our slideshow here, a lot of these photos are taken by our students who are out taking photos in the field. Same thing for the videography and video editing. So you're not sitting in a classroom 5 days a week. The other thing about our class format is in these courses, you're attending classes 2 evenings and 1 day a week for 4 weeks. So each course is going to last for 4 weeks, and you have 2 evenings and 1 day a week. This leaves you with a lot of time to be able to be out, to be practicing your profession, to be working to earn some money, and to be playing in our beautiful playground that we have here. So the way we have this formatted gives students more flexibility than they might have at a more traditional post-secondary school. We also offer each course 2 times per year so that our students have more choice on when they choose to study and when they choose to work full-time. So, you know, it's difficult to cover everything in a short time, but what I want to say is we have flexible timetables, and we have a scheduling that really allows you to benefit from having time to work, having time to play, and to study. That's why our logo is Live, Learn, Play, where we put equal importance on all of these things. Our other full year program that we call Mountain Sport Technician. And this is something maybe for people who are into engineering, or maybe they're already very avid bikers, or they've already tried skiing and they're interested in working and living in a ski resort. And these are
sorry, Shelley, one thing maybe we should point out is that Whistler is a world-renowned resort for skiing, but
absolutely.
But it is also now world-renowned for its mountain biking as well.
Absolutely. We are the #1 mountain bike destination in the world. So we host, if anyone listening is a biker, I'm sure they already know about Whistler. We host most years. This year, it unfortunately was canceled due to COVID, but there's a huge festival called Crankworks. It's the largest mountain bike festival in the world. And the good news is that our bike park is up and running now. So we're very fortunate in British Columbia that we haven't had large outbreaks of COVID. So our tourism industry for people here in Canada is alive and well, and once we're able to start welcoming tourists again, they'll also be able to come back and enjoy. But we do have our bike park open, and the mountain is open for sightseeing as well. So all of our hotels are open, all of our restaurants, and we're back to having a lot of job opportunities.
Great.
So these are all good, really good things. So the mountain sport technician, it might not appeal to as many people living in Mexico if they're not familiar with, the sport of skiing, but I like, to show that it's an available program. And then the other course that we have, which is brand new this year, which is something that is going to be a really cool program, is called Adventure Tourism Winter. And this can be taken over 1 year, or it can be accelerated and students can finish it in 6 months if they're not able to come to Whistler for a full year. The courses in this program are all outdoor based. So in this program, again, you're not sitting in a classroom, you're actually learning for the majority of your courses outdoors. So you want to be ready to want to learn outdoors, and you're learning skills like outdoor survival skills, leadership, backpacking, wilderness first responder, which is a first aid course, and then an introduction to backcountry skiing and snowboarding. So this is something where you don't have to already be a good skier or a good climber. It's going to be introducing you to all of these different sports. But you do need to see that these courses are taking place, some of them in the winter. So you're going to need to have some warm clothing, maybe buy some of those things when you get here, okay? So those are all of our 1 year programs. In addition to our 1 year programs, we have a variety of guide training programs. These are the programs for people who are already proficient or getting proficient at a sport. So if you are already a rock climber, if you are already a mountain biker, if you are already into alpine guiding or biking, these are programs that you could join. They're 6-month programs. I'll go to the bike guide program just to show you an example of what you would be studying, because I know that mountain biking is becoming a really big sport in Mexico. So I'm guessing and hoping that there are a few people listening who are into mountain biking. We have had a few students from Mexico come and do this course, someone from Puebla City, from Cholula, a few people from Mexico City and from Monterrey. We even have some pretty big names in biking who are planning to come and visit us that are in the downhill world in Mexico. So with this 6-month course, you're going to be getting your first aid certificate, you're taking your instructor level 1, you take a trail mechanic course and a guiding clients course, okay? With this program, you have a 6-month study permit that allows work, and you have this number of hours of study, okay? So you are not in class the whole time you're here. We do intense bits of study, and then you're working in the field, you're gaining experience, you're making friends, you're learning more English by living and working in Canada. I can say that in the past, 85% of the people in this program have gotten jobs working for Whistler Blackcomb in the bike park, doing bike guiding or instructing kids in bike lessons. So really great opportunity for people who want to actually work in that field.
Did you say 85%?
Of the students in the bike guide. So once they have completed their wilderness first responder and their instructor level 1, they have the qualifications needed to become an instructor for children. It's not the very top level of instructor, but it's the intro level. And they want them for this job because they have a shortage of qualified people for these kinds of positions. And the nice thing is that you have lots of time to be able to be working while you're here, supporting yourself in this profession.
Only available to work part-time while you're studying, correct?
Yes, but again, if you look here, for example, this instructor level 1 course, it is a 3-day course. So it's an intensive 3-day course, and for the rest of the month, you can work full-time. So, so you don't, when you see this number of hours, it's a short intensive course, and then you're able to work the rest of the month. So in this program, you have many hours that you're able to work. It's the same, for example, if we look at, or maybe I'll do rock guide, because I know there's quite a lot of climbing gyms, people who are interested in climbing in Mexico. So if you're already climbing at a climbing gym and you want to take that up a level, you have to have at least intermediate level of climbing. And if you're wondering what you need to have, the requirements are written on the website. So you need to submit a statement saying that you are able to do these things before you come into the guide course. And the guide course, it consists of 3 levels, okay? So rock guide level 1 is 3 intensive days. Then you have a short break. Rock guide level 2, you're doing 8 days intensive, 8 until 4 every day with a certified guide in a small group. And then you have a big break, a break of about 6 weeks where you're able to practice your skills, work full time, and enjoy life in Whistler. Then you go back for your level 3. Again, it's very intensive. You're expected to be there every day for 8 days working with your instructor, and then you have time again to work full time. So because we're different from other schools, we're a sport training facility, the way our courses are formatted really allow our students to have more free time to practice their skills and to work than a typical post-secondary school.
It is very different from any other webinars we've done where, you know, people work part-time and then full-time, but this is a different situation. Very interesting.
Very different. It's difficult to really explain it in a short time, which is why we're a small school. We only take approximately 100 students per year. So we're very hands-on, and we will work with, you know, class education will be dealing with the student, and we will answer all of the specific questions because I understand that it is different. That's why we say we want students who are a little bit more mature, who are ready to have more free time than they would have in a typical post-secondary program, because they're going to be expected to be going out and practicing their skills and working while they do it. Does that make sense, Bruno?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
I think a lot of people that are on the call and people that in that kind of frame of mind, you know, be outdoors, or the way you are describing them, a little more independent, a little more, you know, mature. And so I can see them, you know, working full time while they're on their break, and just not working while they're at school, just focusing on the school, getting the techniques, and then go back to work full time.
Absolutely. What I can say is that we have a huge number of our students who take one program with us and then they sign up for another, because they love the way we're able to present our classes. Our instructors are real pros. They're full of enthusiasm, and you know, I have seen students in other schools where they're kind of sitting looking a little bit bored, like, okay, what's next? I can tell you that doesn't happen in our classes. Our students are completely engaged and outside. Like, this is a student in a class, you know, the picture that you're looking at right now. So you're in this beautiful environment, you're getting outside, and you're learning. I wanted to talk a little bit about the type of work that most of our students are doing, because Whistler is a tourist destination. We have a lot of jobs. The majority of the jobs are in some sort of tourism. So we have about 50,000 hotel beds in our resort. Wow. So maybe for someone from a city of 20 million people, that doesn't sound like a lot, but we're a town of only 12,000 permanent residents with 50,000 hotel beds. So there are a lot of jobs. There's jobs in hotels, in restaurants, in activity companies. You know, our students, we've never had a student that is not able to find a job in Whistler. The average starting wage for a position in Whistler is a little bit higher than you would find in most places in Canada. So we would say generally they're going to be earning between $15 and $18 an hour to start. So it's 10 to 20% higher wages, but there's a reason for that. It's because the living expenses are also a little bit higher. So you're going to earn a little bit more for your job and you're going to pay a little bit more for your accommodation. So I like to be very straightforward with that. We do have accommodation in the local hostel, which is very close to the school. We recommend that you book accommodation with us for at least the first 3 weeks while you look for other accommodation. Most of the students are sharing with other students while they're here. What else about living in Whistler can I tell you? I mean, it really appeals to anyone who wants to potentially be meeting people from all over the world. When you're walking down the street in Whistler, any time of year, you hear every language, on the planet. I've lived here now for 25 years. Previous to living here, I lived in France and Switzerland, in New Zealand, Australia. I've lived in many places. And I can tell you that Whistler is one of the most amazing towns because it's busy all year round. So it doesn't go completely quiet at any time of the year, but you can go out of town and be immersed in nature if that's what you want. You're going to find friends that you will have for a lifetime who share, your love of being outdoors and exploring new things. So let me think of other questions that I generally get. Bruno, do you want to shoot some questions to me?
Yeah, there are some people asking questions now. And,
okay.
We're not going to jump officially into questions yet, but some of the people are asking if because of those breaks where you can work full time, do you think I can make enough money in that time to cover the costs of the program? My answer would be yes, but at the same time, you have to have the course prepaid before you get to Whistler.
Yeah, I mean, you can earn back a good portion of what you paid for your course, mainly, and you'll be paying for your living expenses. So, you can earn to pay for your rent, for your food, and then depending on how much extracurricular activities you decide to do, you would be able to save extra money. Some of our students are spending their extra money buying new bikes, new skis. Those things aren't cheap. So it really depends on, I have a student saying, I can barely afford to eat. And then they just go out and buy a new $5,000 mountain bike. So everyone has their own priorities, right? But you definitely would be able to earn enough to earn your keep while you're here in Whistler. And if you work hard and you save money, you could also earn back the money that you spent for the program.
Right. Well, I think with that kind of, I did some calculation while you were talking. If you were making on the lower end of the salary, let's say you make only $15 per hour. If you work part-time, you'd make $1,200, $1,200 per month. If you work part-time. If you're working full-time, as you can work full-time between breaks, you will make $2,400 per month. So either one of these, part-time or full-time, should be able to cover your basic cost of housing.
Basic cost of living, yeah. I mean, as you know, with the Canadian government, you have to show that you have ample money to support yourself before coming to Canada, just because that's a requirement of the Canadian government. But, most of our students are earning the money that they need for their rent and basic expenses.
Right. And then if you were making, let's say, $18 per hour, then part-time, while you're studying, you could be making $1,440 per month approximately. And during the breaks, which are, Shelley has already showed us that there's lots of breaks, you could make $2,880 per month. I mean, that's you're making a lot more money than what it costs you to live in Whistler. And with that extra money, of course, you could pay back whoever lent you the money, or you could recuperate some of that money you paid towards the program. But there's lots of work in Whistler. That's a fact.
that there is definitely lots of work. I mean, we have students right now that are just working at a grocery store and they're earning $18 an hour to work at a grocery store. So this is an example of, you know, you don't earn $18 an hour working. For people doing cleaning jobs in hotels, they're usually making $20 an hour or more because they need to have people doing cleaning. So, you know, it's up to you what your expectation is, what kind of work you want to do. But if you want to earn money and work hard, you can absolutely do it. The other thing, we have had students, last year we had, I think, 4 or 5 students that got sponsored by employers. This isn't something that we can ever guarantee, but you know, if you're an exceptionally hard worker, you're keen, you know, you show up with a positive attitude every day and you can get a supervisory position or higher, there are employers in Whistler that are willing to sponsor people because we have such a shortage of long-term workers.
Okay, and so we need to explain that. Sponsoring someone as an employer means you give them a letter saying, I will be willing to hire, you know, to keep Alex or Alicia or whatever, you know, on our team. And then the client, the student uses that to get his permanent residence. And
yeah, so they would be, yeah.
And in a place like Whistler, that's gold, but also it's gold for the company because there's a shortage of people. So they are really looking forward to have people that can really be part of their team. And they will go to that extra mile, which will cost the employer some money to do that.
Yeah.
But it will greatly help the candidate to apply for his permanent residency. So
that's correct.
Not for everybody,
so,
but I think people with the right attitude, the right skills, and right preparation, like in a school like WAS, could or are very much exposed to that possibility.
That's right. I would say that you have a better chance of that happening here in Whistler than in almost any other town in Canada. Because we have such a flow of people coming in and out, and you know, the most expensive thing for a company to do is train new staff. So if they can have a really great staff person and that person is willing to stay for 1 or 2 years, they can make that attempt to sponsor them.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be forever. You could stay a few years and then you say, okay, I'm off to Vancouver or Toronto or whatever.
You would stay long enough to get the points that you need to get your permanent residency. So again, that's not something that we as a school or, you know, you guys can ever guarantee, but I just like people to know that, you know, it's a possibility. I've seen it happen many times. So it's something that if that's a goal of yours, you just have to come with the right attitude, take a job, and be awesome at it.
Yeah. Well, you know, play hard, work hard, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit of the attitude of Whistler, and I think Whistler has the best. You know, has the best in that field. It offers the best outdoors playground, and
Absolutely.
at the same time, it asks for the best in people, and show up with the best attitude, show up with the great work, and you'll be rewarded with, you know, a place to stay.
Like,
and I mean,
the student you see now, this Emilio, he got a job with Mountain Life magazine, a really great magazine, as a photographer, and he's been doing videos for them. So, you know, some of the students, if they really want to, we make the introductions, they take it to the next step, and, you know, really Whistler does attract exceptional people, Bruno. You're absolutely right.
So that's another question I had. So the school does act as a meeting point between employers looking for great employees, well prepared, and students looking for work. You facilitate that, right?
Yes, we do. So to get back again, let me get my. So when we're talking, for example, about the Media and Marketing Manager program, the students are coming with their study permit, which allows them to work when they're, you know, part-time during study periods and full-time during breaks. Plus, they do a co-op work experience. So they're going to get a second permit, a work permit, for these extra hours. So the way this works, when you're doing your work with your study permit, you can do any kind of job. So you can do cleaning, you can work as a barista in a cafe, you can work as a bike instructor, you can do anything. For the co-op work experience, then for this 157 hours, it has to be related to some sort of one of the courses in your program. And for this, we do the introduction to the employers. So we will make sure that the student gets at least one interview with an employer for these specific things. It may be doing social media for a company. It may be doing photography for a company. It may be working on events. We've had students working for Crankworks, working for the Ski and Snowboard Festival. So there's amazing opportunities. We link you up with that as a start. Then it's up to you to get the job, to be great, and to make them want you for longer.
Right. But you set up the table, let's just say.
Yes, that's right.
That's huge. Okay.
We have a list of fantastic employers who are very keen to get our students, because our students are studying things that are relevant to the resort.
Okay. All right, so this is good. Now, some people are asking, Veronica Arevalo, she's asking about English qualification. How, what's the level of English that you need to get into any of your programs, and if you accept TOEFL or IELTS or Duolingo or other ones, what English level do we need?
Okay, so here are the requirements that you are, what we ask for is that you have at least what would be equivalent to IELTS level 4, 4.5 speaking and listening. So really it's, if you're understanding me right now while I'm speaking to you and you're able to carry on a conversation, that's the requirement that we have. So we have a lower English requirement than, say, a public university, which generally is IELTS 6.
Which makes sense because your courses are much more hands-on, right?
Absolutely. We don't do a lot of written exams, as long as what we need to know is that you can understand your instructor and that you can, communicate. The speed at which people increase their English is amazing once they're here, because you're in classes with other English speakers, you're out working, so people tend to progress very quickly. So we accept any of these tests, or we have a little English test right on our website. It will take you about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you don't have an official test result, you can do our free online test. And we also do a Skype interview with each student. So myself or one of my colleagues will have a Skype conversation to answer questions and just to determine that you're able to speak and understand us.
Right. Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Okay. We got a couple more questions, and I think we've already answered that. But Juan Martin Moreno is saying when he found out about WAS, he was very interested. He's hooked on it. Now, there's a bit of confusion about the PJWP, Postgraduate Work Permit. This school is it's a recognized school, but you don't offer the postgraduate work permit because your program are 6 to 12 months long.
That's correct. We're a private, and our longest program right now is 1 year. For post-graduation work permit, there's a few private schools that offer that, not many, and it has to be a minimum of a 2-year program. So currently we're investigating getting a second year in one of our programs to get that post-secondary or post-graduation work permit, but currently you do not get a post-graduation work permit. You can get prior learning assessment credits to go on to another post-secondary. There are schools like Thompson River University and Capilano that do adventure tourism programs, and they will take our credits as prior learning assessments to help you get into that next step.
Okay, so that means that if you do a 1-year program with you, some of the courses we've done with you could be revalidated into
exactly
another public school, and where you could end up getting your postgraduate work permit.
Yes.
Okay, but this is a different. This is not exactly the school for that, but it's so you can work while you're studying. You can, and you have lots of breaks, so you can work full time at many times during most of the time while you're in Canada. And in some cases, if you do a great job, you could also be sponsored by your employer to apply for permanent residency. That's not something we can commit, but that's something that does happen.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Another very good question. When you do your courses, if you need to take the chairlifts and the tickets to go up the mountain, is that included in the course fees?
No, the only course where you're required to have the lift ticket is the Ski and Snowboard Guide program.
Right. So it's not included?
It's not included, no. So that's something, if you're here for the winter and you're taking the marketing and media, there's no requirement to go up the mountain. If you want to go skiing while you're here, then you would buy your season's pass for skiing.
Okay. So that's it. That's apart from that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would recommend you do that because you can't be in Whistler without skiing.
It's pretty hard to be in Whistler without skiing.
Yeah. Even if you're not a skier.
Yeah.
I used to live in Worcester, do you?
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah, I lived in Worcester 2 years. Unbelievable, the best years of my life.
I've lived here 25 years now. I can't really believe it. And I'm still not bored. There's still something fun to do every day. So it's amazing.
And Whistler is growing a lot. And every time there's more stuff to do, more activities, more things to do, more places to play. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. No, it really is. You see, I mean, the girl in this picture that you're looking at, Danny, she's one of our students. She was already a graduate of law school in the United States, so fully certified lawyer, and she came and she did our bike guide program for 6 months, and then she did our marketing and media program for 1 year. And she just said, wow, I couldn't believe how much more things I learned, even after a full university degree. So, she's a good example of someone who came and learned a completely new skill set, and now she works in media. She doesn't want to be a lawyer anymore. She's completely changed, and she's doing her permanent residency to stay in Whistler. So, she's a good example.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
What a change of life, from law school to...
Yeah, and look how happy she is.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. Can we go back to the different programs that you offer? I'd like to maybe have on the screen the list of programs that you have. Can we do that?
Yeah. So I can. Oh, wait. This thing keeps popping down, and it doesn't let me see what I'm trying to see. Hold on.
There's a question about your design and innovation program.
Okay.
Can
So
you tell us a bit about that.
So that's a good question. Actually, the design and innovation is simply the 6 months. It's a 6-month program where you can choose any 4 courses from the marketing and media or mountain sport technician. So this is something for people who are maybe not able to get away for a full year, but they want to come and do some of these courses. So you can take, for example, any 4 of this whole list of courses here, and you would do it within 6 months. So you're going to be taking courses for 4 months when you can work part-time while you're studying, and then 2 months of working full-time. And it really depends on what your preferences are. If you're really into photography, your 4 courses could be photography, photo editing, videography, and video editing, for example. Or if you're more into doing a bit more digital media, you could choose the principles of digital marketing, photography, marketing strategy, and photo editing. If you're into biking and you could be a certified bike mechanic. You could do sustainable trail building, which is building mountain bike trails. And then you could do digital marketing and event planning. So you can really mix and match how you like.
As you wish. Okay.
Yeah.
Monse Beltran has a surprising question. She says, Whistler in general is bike friendly. I would say not bike friendly. I'd say bike lovers. It's the capital.
Bike crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone, I don't know very many people in Whistler that don't have at least one bike. Here in our household, we seem to have more bikes than anything. And it's very set up for biking. We have a wonderful valley trail system, so you never have to actually bike on the main road. We have a beautiful paved system where you can bike everywhere in Whistler. That's kind of the preferred method of transportation in town, anywhere from April through until October.
Yeah, and right, and as you said at the beginning, this is the world capital of biking.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the #1 resort for biking.
It's a bike mecca, really. And not only downhill biking, you know, we have the downhill bike park where you have to pay and take the lift up, but there's also hundreds, probably thousands of other bike trails that are free that you don't have to pay for. So, you know, it can be, you can do enduro or cross-country biking and just have your bike, and you can be on a different trail. As I said, I've been here over 20 years and there's still trails that I have never explored. So you're not going to get tired of that.
Amazing. Okay, Enrique Salazar is asking, are we talking about Canadian dollars or US dollars? We're talking about Canadian dollars, which is significantly cheaper than the US dollar. And that's about, today was about 16.5, 16.7 with the peso. So it is a lot cheaper than the US dollar, for your information. Mauricio Olivares is saying, what kind of diploma do we get when we come out of these programs? What do we get?
So you will get a diploma because we're a certified post-secondary institution in British Columbia. You will get a diploma that lists all of the courses. You will get your transcripts that show the marks that you've attained in each course. You do have to attend your classes. You know, you have to show up and you have to do the work. It's not, you know, you can't just say, oh, I'm signing up and I'm just going to go work every day. It's very important to the school, and it's a requirement of the Canadian government, if you are here on a study permit, that you're attending your classes and that you're attaining what you need to stay in school. So, you know, if you choose to come here and not go to school, you would be dismissed from the program, and then you are no longer here on a study permit. So, you know, you come, but you get your diploma. It's a certified diploma in British Columbia. What you use it for, it's very difficult to say if it's accepted in other countries. It's not a university degree. It's like a vocational college diploma, but you do get that diploma. If you're doing the guide training courses, for example, you know, like rock guide or ski and snowboard guide training, this does not make you a certified guide when you finish. And again, if anyone listening is familiar with the guiding world, it takes many years to actually be a fully certified mountain guide. It's not something you get in 6 months. What we teach you are the skills, the vocabulary, you know, what you need to get into the training for professional guide training. Here in Canada, without the base that you would learn here, it would probably take you, you know, a couple of years to get the same amount of experience that you're getting with us in the 6-month program. Then you can enter in to become a guide.
Okay, wow.
Okay.
Okay, another question, what can students live in Whistler? Or where's the residence, or where's the, you know, what can
so the residence that we use, we block off, we have rooms set aside for our students in the hostel, which was just built less than 10 years ago. It's located about a 10-minute walk from the school, and there's a bus stop right there that goes into the ski hill and into the bike park. Usually, if you're arriving anytime other than kind of November, December, we recommend that you just book 2 or 3 weeks at the hostel. And then most people here are sharing, you know, with other people that are living and working in Whistler. So there's a variety of sites that list home share, and people start to just look at what's available and check it out. But you do have to expect to share accommodation, otherwise it would be very expensive, because it is, you know, it is a costly place to live.
Yeah, it is, but not impossible. Not impossible to find something.
Not impossible, no. And for our students, for example, who are in our ski and snowboard guide training course, who all arrive in November, we do have an accommodation package. So I'll show you on this link. Where did it go? Here. So we have an accommodation package that you can do if you're coming for the winter. I doubt that too many people from Mexico are planning to do the ski guide, most would be applying in May or June or July. And in that case, there's ample housing. So, and we help you with that. When you arrive, you come in, you meet with us, we do an orientation, we go over, okay, this is where you can start looking. Some people have already found a place to live before they come. And some people stay in the hostel to start with and then look for something else.
Yeah. And also in class education, we can assist our students as well for accommodation. We have partners that can assist us with housing in Whistler. So, you know, you're not alone there.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul Room is asking for the innovation program. This is the 6 months program, right? This is a short.
That's right. Design and Innovation is basically the short program for marketing media or mountain sport technician. Okay. It's where you're taking any 4 courses from either of those 2 and making your own a la carte program. For those, you get the course certificates for whichever courses you took.
Okay. For the year-long program, you would just go into the marketing media program or the biking program, right?
Correct. So for the full year, you would take all of the courses listed. Okay. So in the full year marketing and media, you're taking all 7 of the courses of these. For design and innovation, you choose any 4.
Okay. So just to repeat again, you can take a year, and during breaks, you can work full-time. While you're studying, you can work part-time. And after your year, can you extend a period for you to work?
No, so within the year, you're going to be studying during study breaks and working part-time. You can work full-time during scheduled breaks, plus you get the additional hours that are with your co-op course. But you cannot extend after the year unless you're going to extend into another program.
Okay. This 157 hours of co-op corresponds to, I'm not good at numbers, how long is that in co-op?
Well, you could, for example, once you've completed, say, 2 or 3 of your courses, you can combine these 157 hours into the weeks where you are working part-time, so where you're studying. So, which essentially means that for at least, say, 4 months, you can work full-time while you study, because some of those hours would be your co-op hours.
Okay.
So it tops up your number of hours that you can work.
Okay. Edgar Najera is asking, is there transportation from Vancouver to Whistler daily? There are shuttles going to from the airport. You can go by train, you can go by bus, you can go by Uber, you can...
No train. Uber is very limited. Uber doesn't really exist in Whistler yet. There is another ride-sharing service, but there are buses that go from downtown maybe 6 or 7 times a day, which is Epic Rides. And there's also bus services that will take you directly from the airport up to Whistler.
Right.
We're a bit behind on the Uber still.
Yeah. I can really see Edgar's interest there. Are there bars and malls in Whistler? Yes.
Lots of bars. Not so many malls. We don't have any shopping malls. If shopping is your favorite activity, you either need to do that down in Vancouver. You know, we do have shops. We have a lot of sporting shops. We have a few clothing shops, you know, but it's more, you know, nightclubs for sure, restaurants, you know, people are coming here for holiday. So when they're here on holiday, they want to go out at night, they want to go for a nice meal, they want to go for drinks, they want to go dancing. We have all of that. What we don't have is a big shopping mall where you're going to find, you know, hundreds of stores.
Right, but there are lots of shops. There are lots of
shops, and we have a movie theater. We have a couple of museums, art galleries, that kind of thing. But you know, it's a smaller town, so shopping is not the main. You know, if shopping is your favorite activity, you might get bored of the shopping after a little while.
Yeah, and not the place for that. But everything else, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Rosalinda is asking about do all students need to have prior experience to get into, or prior knowledge of the topics prior to get into those programs?
No, so the only courses that we require prior knowledge is for the guide training programs. But for the marketing media, for mountain sport technician and adventure tourism, you do not need prior experience. You just need to be at least 18 years old and have the minimum of IELTS 4 to get in. So we have some people coming in that have already done some photography and some who haven't. That's where it's an advantage because we have such small classes that the instructor is able to tailor, the activities to the different levels.
Okay. Now, I'm sure lots of people are asking about pricing. So I don't know who has that slide. Is it you or is it Suhaili? Can we put that slide on so people can see the cost?
I can take you onto there right now. Just one moment.
Actually, we have a promotion you gave us for the day, and that's what I'd like to show instead.
Okay, I don't have that, so I can stop sharing. I have our regular price list here that you can see on the screen. Yeah, but I know that we're offering some scholarships today that are special for our one-year program. So for the marketing and media and mountain sport technician, and maybe I'll hand that over to you. Do you want me to stop sharing my screen now?
Yeah, and then Suhaili will put on our screen. So we will show your regular price. It will show the special price with the bursary program that we've put together. So you can read through this as well, Shelly. Your Spanish is good enough for that, right?
Sí, seguro.
So the big one is on the top right corner, Marketing Media Manager. Regular price, $14,000 Canadian. Right now we have a bursary or a beca. Up to 30% for the first one that registers on that today. Suhaili, do we have the how the bursary program is working? I think we have one at 30%, the first one that registers, and then we have other ones at 20 and or 25. Or can we show that? Or is it there? Is it on this one?
It just says along the top 15, 20, and 30.
Exactly. So there's the first one that registers today. The first person that registers today will get 30% off, which means the price goes from $14,000 to $9,800 Canadian. That's a one-year program, and with $150 textbooks and $200 for external hard drive. But this is the cost of the program, so it's a great price with 30% off for any one of the for the one-year program.
Yeah.
And the other discounts are for 20 and 15% off the programs, and we can see the prices there on the right hand side. These are 6 months programs.
Yeah, so for the 6 month programs, I believe that they're the regular pricing, and it's for the one-year programs that you're doing the discounts of 30, 20, and 15% today. So yeah, that's a great opportunity for someone if they're interested in signing up. And when we were talking a little bit about the difference now with trying to get your work permit, it is taking a little bit longer because of the COVID shutdowns, but really my recommendation is to sign up right away with a hopeful start date, say in October or November. And if it takes a little bit longer, we can push the start date forward. But the Canadian consulate is going to be processing these applications as they come in. So you want to make sure that you get your application in as soon as possible so that it's going to get processed in time so that you can come as soon as the borders open. It's definitely different times for everyone right now, but it's going to eventually pass. And, Bruno and I were speaking, we both feel that probably the first stage of reopening will be for students and for long-term workers, the same way as they've done in some other countries around the world. So the sooner you make that decision, pay your deposit, and send away for your for your study permit, then it's going to be processed that much sooner when things open.
Yeah, es correcto. Sabemos que no es tiempo de viajar en este momento porque no podemos viajar todavía, pero ambos, Shelly y yo, pensamos que, la frontera canadiense va a abrir pronto, y mientras uno pone es tiempo para analizar, entender las opciones, escoger los programas y las instituciones, aplicar, porque todo eso es un proceso, recibir nuestra carta de aceptación, y con eso nosotros en Class Education podemos aplicar por su visa. Las visas se siguen procesando en línea. no salen todavía porque hay un proceso de biométricos que está parado en este momento, pero todo lo demás se va procesando. Entonces, si lo metemos ya, estamos como que en primera fila para cuando empiezan a procesarlos, que pensamos que ya va a ser muy pronto y van a poder entrar quizás en septiembre, quizás en octubre, quizás más adelante, pero confiamos que va a ser todavía este otoño. Y de todas formas, una muy buena razón para aplicar ahora son los descuentos que nos está otorgando UAS el día de hoy. Y con eso, pues con un depósito se congelan esos descuentos, aunque vayan inclusive en 2021. Entonces, sí, es una buena idea de iniciar el proceso, uno, para que vayamos tramitando y que nos vayamos preparando. Y como dijo Shelly, si estaban apuntados para septiembre o para octubre y finalmente no se puede, va a ser noviembre o enero, se cambia y no hay ningún problema, no hay ninguna penalización para eso. ¿Okay? Exacto. Eso es muy, muy importante. Hay gente que nos pregunta sobre si hay apoyo financiero para esos programas. Por parte de la escuela no hay. La escuela ofrece una beca, ahorita varias becas de 30, 20 y 15% según quién se registra primero. Lo que sí ofrecemos en Class Education es que hemos logrado alianzas estratégicas con varias empresas de financiamiento en México que ofrecen financiamiento para nuestros estudiantes desde el 20% hasta el 100% de los costos de colegiatura, inclusive los costos de vivienda en Canadá. Lo que hacen con ellos, si les interesa, nos avisan, nos hacen saber, nos contactan a nosotros, les ponemos en contacto con ellos y ellos les pueden hacer un estudio socioeconómico en más o menos 10 minutos en línea, contestando a unas preguntas y les pueden decir si, uno, son sujetos a crédito y por cuánto, por qué monto. Y este monto puede ser, va a ser en pesos. Y puede ser por el total del curso, una parte, o el total del curso con los gastos de viajes también. Les doy un ejemplo. Si fuera un financiamiento de 175,950 pesos, les daría una tasa de pago, de repago a 24 meses, o sea, 2 años de 9,726 pesos por mes. Si fuera 36 meses, de 7,340 pesos. Y esos plazos pueden variar desde 6 meses hasta 60 meses, es decir, por 5 años, ¿no? Sabemos que ahorita por el COVID hay mucha incertidumbre y hay gente que dice, yo tengo un colchoncito, pero no lo quiero poner ahí todavía, quiero quedármelo por si pasa algo. Entonces, creo que el financiamiento ahorita tiene mucho sentido. Se ofrece en pesos. Si la tasa de cambio se mueve después, este préstamo se queda en pesos y las mensualidades, el monto se queda en pesos. Inclusive, hay una modalidad donde uno puede pagar menos al inicio mientras está estudiando y cuando empieza a trabajar ya se pueden incrementar los pagos y porque ya uno tiene los ingresos para hacer pagos más fuertes. En cualquier momento pueden hacer pagos anticipados o liquidar todo el préstamo sin ninguna penalización. Entonces, otra vez, si a alguien les interesa eso, comuníquense con su ejecutivo de Class Education, les ponemos en contacto con ellos y les harán su examen socioeconómico y en 10 minutos, tan solo 10 minutos les dicen cuánto les pueden prestar y partimos de ahí. Y entre ustedes discuten si es un préstamo para 1 año, 2 años o hasta 5 años y cuál será el plan de pago, de amortización de este préstamo. ¿Ok? Bueno. So this is important because, you know, in times of COVID, I think financing could make a lot of sense. En la pantalla tienen los datos de Class Education. Ahí está el nombre de Shelly Quinn, Sales Director de WAS. You have all our contact information to contact us, WhatsApp, telephone, website, Facebook, you name it, we're there. I wouldn't say we're working 24/7, but we are definitely working more than ever since this COVID thing has started. So we are here to help. We're here to assist you. We're here to help you make great decisions. This alongside with our school partners, we work together as a team to make these dreams happen. So please, any questions you may have, any worries, you know, I'm sure we could do another Zoom meeting or Skype call with Shelly. If you have any particular question that you'd like to ask her, we can do it afterwards as well. Please feel free to contact us. If that's the way, if this is what you need, and we'll see Shelly's availability and we can make another call. But in any case,
Absolutely.
you have all our contact information there. Shelley, well, this is definitely a unique school with a classroom outside.
Yeah.
I love it. Not a lot of online training in this class, which is, I think, is welcomed at this point. Tell us, typically, I know we talked about this a little bit, but some people ask more questions. Typically, while you're studying, what kind of part-time job can people get while they're in Whistler? You know,
honestly, we have such a huge variety of jobs. They can be working in the hotels. They can be working in the restaurants. They can be working for the adventure tourism companies. We have people teaching biking, teaching skiing, working in cafes. There are always more jobs than people in this town.
It's true, eh?
This year we had, 6 of our students, they just all started working at one of the small grocery stores. And as it happened with COVID, a lot of other people lost their jobs, but all of our students kept their jobs through the whole time because they were working in an essential service. So, and the word just spread. There always seems to be little clumps, like 1 or 2 will get a job one place, and then, my employer wants to, to meet all my friends, and they all get jobs. So there's a huge variety of jobs, but Whistler is a tourist destination, so a lot of the jobs are in tourism, for sure.
Yeah, I think anyone that doesn't work in Whistler is someone that doesn't want to work, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. There were maybe 6 weeks there when things really shut down for COVID at the very, kind of middle of March until end of April was the only time that things really kind of halted. And now things have picked back up and there's lots of jobs again.
True. Okay, Beatriz Escalante, she says, if I register today, do I have to make a deposit? Well, you can register today without making a deposit because it's already 8:30 in Mexico. But yeah, to confirm the bursary, you need to register with a deposit. So that, I hope that answers your question. Alex Betty Marquez is saying, I'd like to register and apply for the bursary, even though I go for the second semester in 2021. Would that apply if they go for in the second semester of 21?
As far as we're concerned, it isn't. It's getting the deposit and the application fee in and sending up for their study permit. If they want to start, in January 2021 or in May 2021, that's fine. They just have to let us know when they want to start.
Yeah. Hay gente que preguntan cuánto será el depósito y yo creo que yo quiero ser honesto y franco y sobre todo justo para todos los que tienen un interés y que veo que son varios de ustedes que tienen un interés para este programa y sobre todo para la beca. Yo quisiera ver que obviamente la beca vaya a la persona que empieza, uno que se registra primero, pero también ir viendo cuándo van a empezar y también pues si hay 2, 3, 4, 5 personas que quieren esta beca y llegan más o menos todos al mismo tiempo, pues ir viendo un sistema para apartar la beca y hacer un depósito quizás no del 50%, pero sí un depósito sustentable, ¿no? La verdad que no lo hemos discutido entre nosotros. Yo no pensé que eso iba a llegar como pregunta, pero digo, veámoslo, ¿no? Pero sí tendría que ser un depósito que enseña una cierta seriedad, ¿no? No un depósito de 150 pesos, o sea, eso no aplicaría. Normalmente nosotros en clase pedimos un depósito de 15,000 pesos para iniciar los trámites. Y aquí pues tenemos que también apartar el espacio y la beca con Shelly y con WAS. Entonces yo digo que por esos montos más o menos sería un mínimo de depósito para apartar la beca y congelar los precios también.
So Bruno, I can tell you that the regular deposit required from WAS for any program to be able to get the letter of acceptance is a $250 application fee and 1,750 Canadian dollars.
Okay, so that's almost $2,000.
That's our minimum to start the process.
Right, so those means on...
It is $2,000.
más bien como 37, 38 mil pesos, ¿no? Entonces, digo, veámoslo, son bonitas cosas que le podemos solucionar esta parte nosotros, pero sí, digo, es un depósito sustancial y después de eso también podemos armar un plan de pago, que es lo más sencillo, lo más cómodo, ir haciendo un plan de pago mensuales del monto que desean ustedes, que puedan ustedes, para que se vaya juntando el dinero y vayamos siempre cambiando los pesos a dólares canadienses para evitar cualquier tipo de evaluación en su moneda. Okay? Okay, so Shelly, we have people leaving us their contact information. Por favor, siguen quien está interesado, contáctenos, déjanos aquí mismo en el Zoom o en el Facebook sus datos para que podamos estar en contacto con ustedes, enviar los documentos para que empiecen el proceso. Como decía, esta beca son para los primeros que van llegando. Hasta 10 personas pueden entrar en las becas, entonces hay que apurarse. La primera va a tener un descuento muy importante del 30%. Entonces, ahí en la pantalla tienen todos nuestros datos, nos pueden escribir hoy mismo y seguimos en línea, sino aquí mismo en Zoom o en Facebook. Another question people ask us all the time, and today is no exception, Shelly. They're saying, for the visa, for the study visa, study and work visa, how much money does the Immigration Canada ask of people to have? So this could vary. You know, how much money do we need to show in our accounts?
Well, you might know that better than me. I think my understanding is that they should show that they have access, maybe through their parents or through a relative, to at least $10,000. Would that be about right?
It's about right. It's about right. It's actually about 12,000. You're very close. So yeah, about 200,000 pesos, to $12,000. And then you're right. It could be their money. It could be their money combined with their parents' money. It could be even grandparents' money. It could be a brother. You know, it could be anyone from their immediate circle, family circle. Mm-hmm. The money doesn't have to be in the account. It could be an investment. It could be part investment, part cash in the account. It could be peso. It could be in dollars. It could be, you know, there's lots of options there. But we need to show that you're able to sustain yourself for the time you'll be here. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you were to pay, let's say, the school, of course, you would have a receipt saying that you've paid a key amount of money. Then you would have less money in your account, but that averages out because it did put that money together. So there's always questions about immigration. In Class Education, we can do your visa. We apply online for you. We do all the paperwork. We tell you the list of documents that we need from you. So in Class Education, we offer that service to get you a study and work permit. So you can all do all that with class, and you don't have to worry about, you know, how to do it and if you're doing it right. We've been doing this for a number of years, and last year in 2019 we had a 98% success rate. So I think, you know, we're pretty safe with that in terms of getting the right visa for the right people. Okay. Well, great questions, Shirley. Thank you very much. I'll give you a few words. I'll continue seeing if we have more questions. In the meantime, I'll let you say a few last words before we end the webinar.
Okay, great. Well, you can see what's playing in the background now, which are some of our different movies. You can see these on our YouTube channel. As Bruno said, I'm available to talk with you along with someone from class to answer specific questions, because, you know, I realize it's a big decision. It's a big life decision, you know, to come to Canada, to study. Our programs are different from, you know, what you're probably used to. But, you know, if you're watching these videos and feeling excitement, you could have just found your dream school. You know, it's not something that's for everybody, but I can say that the students who choose to come and study with us have life-changing experiences. They meet friends for a lifetime, and whatever myself and the team from class can do to answer questions, to make sure that you feel comfortable with your decision, we're here to do that. And myself and my team are here in Whistler, you know, to help you along the way while you know, get adjusted to the new life. But all I can say is, you know, it would be a step into your future that you're never going to regret, because It's an amazing change of pace, something completely different. If that's what you're looking for, go for it. You won't regret it, and you will absolutely love this place. So I'll finish with that.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah. While you were saying that, I was just reviewing. There's one more question again on the level of English, IELTS 4.5. Do you know what that would be in Duolingo?
You know what? I have to look into the Duolingo exams, the format of the Duolingo exam. I don't know exactly what that would be in Duolingo, but honestly, the little test that we have on our site would take about 15 minutes and it gives you an immediate result.
Let's do that. Let's do that. That's even better. It's cheap.
Pretty easy. Yeah, it's an easy one to do.
Very good. Okay. Well, I like that slogan of the school. Take from passion to, what is it?
From passion to profession. Yeah.
I love that. I think you know it summarized the school. It summarized the life in Whistler. I think you really take your passion and bring it to a professional level where you become the best of the world in that class. And Whistler is that type of place. It's the top of the world in ski, top of the world in biking, top of the world. I mean, you see some stuff in Whistler, you say, wow. You know, I've seen the what's it called, the World Championship of Red Bull.
The Crankworks one?
Crankwork is one, but the Red Bull Championship was there also.
Lots of extreme sports.
I mean,
but what I don't want people to think is that they have to be an extreme athlete. For example, I've lived here 25 years. I'm not an extreme athlete. You know, I don't go and do the double black trails in the bike park. I like to bike around on the Valley Trail. I like to go to the lakes. I like to go to the beach. So you don't have to be an extreme athlete. If you are an extreme athlete, great. You're going to love, it's here waiting for you. But there's lots of other things. Really, it's important that you just like the outdoors, that you enjoy nature. That's what you need.
Perfect. All right. Well, there are other people writing to us on the WhatsApp. There's lots of people giving us their contact information. Thank you very much.
Great.
We will be in touch with you. Shelley, thank you for your time. Thank you for all the information you gave us. Thank you for those wonderful pictures. I mean, wow, it's breathtaking. And thank you for everyone for listening in today. And thank you for the class team for answering questions live on Facebook and on Zoom. It was great, and putting this webinar together again. Definitely a wonderful story, a wonderful school to promote, a fun school to promote. And I hope we can send you lots of students, and we'll be standing by. We'll be standing by to assist our students in any aspect of the process we can help you with. Again, thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you on Thursday or our next webinar. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye.